2005 Seadoo supercharged RXT. This motor came in, had a blown head gasket. I think we did a supercharger clutch washer kit on it, and then we fired it up after that because it ran at that point and found out the oil pressure wasn't any good, so it starts banging out around 2,000 RPMs plus. There's not really a code for that except for oil pressure. I see a lot of people changing oil pressure switches. That's not really the problem. Typically it's the oil pumps, and you have to go and spend the money. You got to pull the motor out, you got to replace the front oil pump assembly, which is way down there with that oil cap on it, and you got to place the entire PTO housing on the rear, which is in front of that supercharger, with the oil filter housing and everything attached to that. So you do a complete SPT oil pump kit, around $500-600 in parts. The rear PTO housing is rebuilt. And anyway, we knew the cylinder head gasket was fine because we test ran it before, but now we're going to do our first oil pressure test. You want to screw a manual gauge in. These things got to run with about 100 pounds of oil pressure. So we got this pressure gauge here. I'm going to start it. Let's see what happens. You also want to do the oil bypass valve barrel, because those things are bad about cracking and people over tighten. Anyway, it's got great oil pressure. There's the oil pressure switch. Now he's going to take that out, put that back in. We're going to tune a few things, get this baby purring like a kitten, put it in the load tank, test it, and it should be ready to go.